The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 298. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free self-talk tape for building self-confidence by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to The Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is a professional hair and makeup artist, and I'm just excited to have her on and share her story with us on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Pamm Merrera. Pam, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Yes, hi Sheena. I'm Pamm Merrera. I'm a hair and makeup artist from the Philippines, and I initially studied makeup and hairstyling courses in the Philippines, but then, I had so much passion and drive for excellence that it led me to go to the US to further my studies. And I'm currently in the US right now, but here in the US, I graduated with a master in makeup diploma at Cinema Makeup School. And then apart from beauty and fashion, I also do character makeup, aesthetics, special effects. And then currently I am working on learning more about the semi-permanent tattoo and then lashes and all that other airbrush tanning and all that other stuff. And yeah, it took me 2 courses before I figured out, or bachelor degrees before I figured out what I wanted to do, because at first I was like, okay, I'm going to take up this course, and then I finished it, and then that was international studies, and then after that I took up nursing and passed the boards, became a registered nurse, but never really practiced it. But all these things actually work together, or work for my, to my advantage in the end, because I actually use it as a makeup artist to, to relate to people. It's easier and all that other stuff. So yeah, right now I'm just like really expanding on the business, the beauty business.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what's your cultural background?
So I'm 100% Filipina. I was born in Manila. I was raised in the province north of Manila called Dagupan City, Pangasinan. I speak both English and Filipino language fluently, and a little bit of our provincial dialect as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. I'm also from the Philippines, so
Yay!
it's always great to connect with ladies from the Philippines. And
I know.
totally. And Pam, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Okay, so this was like the hardest thing to like think just one, but I have a lot of motivational quotes that I live by. But one of my favorite ones would that speak about self confidence as well. It's like from the book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 2. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. That's like one of my favorites.
Awesome. And I love that quote too, right? I mean, there's so many women out there, who feel like they're too scared to do anything, but fear actually helps us become stronger and have that courage to take action. And if we can look at fear, in a good way, in a good perspective, I mean, that's when we can have that confidence to do what we want. So love the quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I think it starts with knowing who you are, accepting and embracing every part of you, the good, the bad, like your strengths and weaknesses. Once you learn how to love yourself too, you will find it easier to give yourself a pat in the back for the things that you do right, and forgive yourself for the things that you do wrong. So finding that balance in between, I think, is the best definition of self-confidence for me.
Awesome. And I love that definition. I love how you mentioned to embrace all of you, because we're so great at, when we do something bad, it's like we punish ourselves, or we tell
That's
ourselves
right.
like what's wrong with us, not realizing it's a part of us. And sometimes our weaknesses can be our greatest strengths. So
That is true.
I really love that definition. And what was your life like before you discovered self-confidence?
Like I said, I finished 2 bachelor degrees. So at first I was just like, okay, I don't know what to do next. Everyone's doing this, everyone's doing that. So what am I going to do with my life? And it was pretty much like, I felt like a dog trying to catch its own tail, in a way where I'm like, okay, I'm just like doing this over and over. And then, but I can honestly say that at the end of the day, it was my faith that kind of like was my biggest source of self-confidence. And like, I just had to like, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. When you know your purpose in life, it kind of gives you that direction too. So yeah, it was confusing. It was kind of like, okay, I'm in the dark with what I want to do in life. But then after that, I was like, everything was like set.
Awesome. And I think we all go through that. I know I've been through it. It's like I look around, it's like, is this what I really want? And some people do things that they don't want to do, but they feel like they have to.
Right.
And especially like from our parents. I mean, I'm sure growing up in the
Right. Oh my
Philippines.
gosh.
Yeah.
I know. No, because the thing is, like, I took up international studies at first because my parents kind of wanted me to become a lawyer because I was like, everyone's parents' dream or whatever. But I mean, I don't blame them. They want the best for me too, and I think that's how parents are to begin with. But sometimes when you try to fight for what you want, it's sort of harder. You know this because you're Filipino too. And when I told them about the beauty thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to take up cosmetology at first. They were like, What is that? Like beauty?" I'm like, they weren't really so happy about it. So that's why I took another course, just to prove something. And then it's not that I don't like it. I actually learned a lot from nursing, and it takes a lot of like courage, and then it humbles you too as a person. But like I said, like your self-confidence too comes from following your heart too. So yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. And what was that point in your life when you realized like, beauty, doing hair and makeup was like your purpose and it's something that you love to do? Like what was that aha moment?
So, like, for me, I guess both my mom and my dad, or especially my mom's side, had like that artist, creative genes that I didn't know that I was going to kind of get. I loved makeup. I loved painting when I was a kid, but it was just like, those, everyone knows how to color. Everyone knows how to like, whatever, play with colors and all that stuff. But it was a point where if I was going to be, I was a tomboy, like growing up. So I was like, okay, everyone asked me the same question, but it was a point where I love collecting makeup. I don't really use it on myself so much, but I just like playing with colors too. So I was waiting for my board results, and I finally like told my parents, like, can I just please take a course where I could just learn about this while waiting? And that's what I did. Finally, pursued it. And after taking like a short course in the Philippines, it was so easy for me to get jobs. Like it was just like right, left, like everything was just so easy in a way because I loved what I was doing. So it wasn't like I was having a hard time. So that was like my aha moment, like, what, I could do this for a career, like for serious. So that's where I decided, like, what, when I learned that I passed the boards, I was like the happiest girl on earth, but I still pursued and went to the States after that because I wanted to become a professional makeup artist.
I love that. And, I love what you said. It just came easy for you. And, a lot of people might think easy in a different way, but I'm sure it was just like an easy flow. It just came naturally to you.
Right.
People forget, like, you do what comes naturally, and that's what, can actually help you, you can do what you want naturally and help you have a career out of it.
Right.
And it's the best feeling because you get to do what you love. And this is what it's all about, getting to do what you love. Regardless of, I'm sure your parents, like you mentioned, wasn't too happy, and they were probably like,
at first.
they're probably like, how's that going to pay the bills and whatnot? So, I mean, I totally get it. And, because of that, what's your life been like now?
Well, you know what? My parents now, they actually introduced me as like they're proud there to say like, oh, she's a makeup artist and all that. And it makes me smile too because they know that apart from because you know how in the Philippines, like your last name is known for something, like I went out of that comfort zone. I went out of that circle and I can't like fill in my parents' shoes, and it's a different pair of shoes. I'm like, I'm going to do something different, way different from like, what you guys are doing. And I'm happy that I did that because not everyone is blessed to actually find a job that they love. And it's been 5 years and I'm excited. I still get nervous every job I get because there's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. And that's why I'm still here. I'm not scared to take a break and learn something new to introduce in the Philippines, to kind of like, okay, this is what's new. This is what's going on now. And just to evolve with change too. Like given that the technology nowadays, it's just like really fast change everything. And I also believe that in the industry that I'm in right now, you don't always have to be the best out there. You just have to do everything. You just have to, you have to love what you do And that's why I'm happy, because I don't even have to. I love what I do, and do it with so much passion and excellence, and you'll be amazing at it. So I'm happy, very happy.
Awesome. And it's great that you get to do what you love, and hopefully, our listeners can realize that it is possible to do what you love. I mean, there's proof, and I always believe if one person can do it, then, if it's possible for one person, then it's possible for everybody else. And
that's right.
And if our listeners were tuning into your episode and they're in a similar, situation, what would be that one self-confidence tip you would give to them?
It's never too late to start something. I've met so many women out there who started way later than I did. I started when I was 25, and, I was teased like, oh my gosh, like, when are you going to finish, or when are you going to do something? And now I'm happy that I actually it took time before I figured out what I wanted to do. And I have a better understanding of life, of how to make money. I'm not so overwhelmed with all these things that you're overwhelmed with when you're younger. And now that when I started later, I know that it's easier for you to just embrace the changes, embrace everything that's going on. You're not so like worried about how you look every day, or, it's just about, now I'm all about kind of like empowering people that I meet every job that I get. So yeah, like everyone views beauty in a more shallow way. But for me, I always tell people that I meet, like, this is just a tool for me to meet people, to actually empower other people. But this is not where it ends. I love making other people feel good about themselves, and every chance you get, like, to share your life, your experience, and all that stuff. That's like the most amazing part of my job.
I love the tip that you mentioned, because, so many people think it's too late to do what they love.
Right.
I mean, Martha Stewart started her empire, like, I think in her late 50s or in her early 60s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many entrepreneurs out there who start late and still can be successful. And, and you mentioned, you took your time, which is great, because a lot of people feel like they're in a race. It's like,
I know,
if I finish last, I'm a failure. It's like sometimes we need that time to heal, to get to know who we are, to love ourselves, having that inner beauty. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. And Pam, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about what you do, or check out some of your cool, makeup that you've done, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. It's sort of hard to pronounce the name that I have, but it's Professional Maquillage. But they can go look for me as Pamm Merrera. Just my name. Type in my name, Pamm space Merrera, Merrera. They can look for me on Facebook as well. And yeah, I have like a business page over there. They can follow me on Facebook and see my Facebook live videos as well, on how-tos and whatever, like about makeup and different tips about beauty. And yeah, they can get in touch with me through that, and email promac, promaq.hmua@gmail.com if they have like any inquiries or questions or whatever it is that they have in mind. So yay!
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And don't worry, listeners, if you want to connect with Pam, you can also head on over to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Pam's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really want to thank Pam for taking the time to share her story and tips with us. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and it's my pleasure. I'm honored, by the way.
No, not a problem. I'm just honored to have you on and share your story. And listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free audiobook by visiting our website at thetowofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.